Welcome, everybody, to Funeral Nation episode 185. I'm Ryan Thogmartin. That is Jeff, the funeral commander. And this is the funeral profession's only news web show. And my gosh, Jeff, what is happening?
It's interesting. I think that we're responding properly. We'll talk about some of the things that are going on within our industry. However, it's great that we do a weekly show and the dynamics are changing daily, much less weekly. I'll give you an example. My wife works at a hospital and they're changing hourly with their protocols. And I think that we'll see as time goes on. And one mention that I'll do today in a little while is this is the new normal. I think that you can
Yeah.
pretty much estimate for the foreseeable future that we need to change our operations, and that's difficult in a business where change is adverse.
Yep.
But obviously, there are a lot of people doing right things the right way, and I'm excited that you and I get the opportunity to share some of those.
I am as well. And we wouldn't get that opportunity if it wasn't for your team and your people at C&J Financial.
Yeah, Jamie and everybody, we are responding. We have the majority of our folks are up and running at home. So therefore, operations and getting insurance assignments are continuing. What we're hearing and understanding that some insurance companies are difficult to deal with, i.e., the phones are loaded.
Mhm.
So if you're not a C&J client, you need to be just from a time standpoint to make sure we do the work while you're focusing on other things. And I might as well say this, there's no better time now than for a family to use life insurance to pay for the funeral proceeds. We're seeing where stimulus checks are being sent out, folks are being laid off, and reduced hours. So that all trickles down to that unexpected death and a lack of cash. So if a family has insurance, give them the blessing of being able to use that financial mechanism, and give us a call at C&J Financial, and we'll work it for you. You don't have to sit on that phone for hours.
That's right. I love it. I love it. All right. So, gosh, like every day this week has been something. Something's canceled, something stopped, some guidance, I mean, just one thing after the next. And last, well, not to timestamp this, but it was just announced a few hours ago that the state of Washington has banned all funeral gatherings, including the graveside. The option is direct burial or direct cremation. And this could be, I don't want to say it, but this could be a trend across the country. You look at California, which now is, kind of quarantined to the house all across the state, not just San Francisco and LA now. So you could see funeral gatherings being banned there. And, I think that a one positive news article that was announced as well is funeral directors and mortuary workers are now categorized as an essential business, which, duh, like how that wasn't part of the equation before. I don't know. So things are just nuts, like changing, like you said, by the hour, by the minute, and everybody's having to pivot.
Right. You mentioned that the NFDA, they did a great job stepping up, and kudos to them and their team for helping protect the funeral profession, as a critical infrastructure worker. However, we see that in a contrasting great news, then there's contrasting difficult news
Yeah.
that again in Washington, hey, you can go to work, but no one can attend services. And so it's going to be interesting how that works out. I'm concerned beyond. I wrote something the other day about this subject where the financial well-being of funeral homes now becomes even more difficult.
Mhm.
And of course, somebody responded, "Well, what about the health?" Look, the health and welfare is first for everybody. Okay, we care there, but there's also going to be additional strain on
Mhm.
funeral homes because just add up for the last year how many service charges for actual services or memorial services or visitations that a funeral home does, that now looks like it's coming out of the offerings because it's not available.
Yeah.
So we would like to hear some from funeral professionals and owners. Give us some thoughts of what you're doing.
Well,
How are you going to compensate for
I can
that?
speak to that a little bit on some conversations I've had with some of our customers. It sounds like some are still charging for it now, but offering then to do the memorial service when it's appropriate and they're able to, offering the family that ability. But I think it creates a grief problem as well. I mean, when you don't have that closure and you're forced to not be able to have a service and you've got to wait months to be able to have one, gosh, that's just another kind of piling on for the funeral home and for that family. So, yes, let's get some feedback. If you want to come on the show and talk about how you're dealing with this, like comment below, send us a private message. We're pretty easy people to find and get a hold of. Just Google. So let's make it happen.
So we have big news coming up about what we're going to do to respond and keep the show going. You want to chat about that some?
Yeah. So we announced it on the last show, but it'll be coming up March 30th, 31st, and April 1st, the First Funeral Unconference, a virtual conference of, I'm going to say 12 of the most forward-thinking suppliers in the business in different subject matters coming together for panel discussions that can be valuable in this time that we're in right now, to bring, just more news and information and apply solutions to the current problems that our funeral directors are experiencing.
Right. And I think the panel, and we'll have lots of media come out next week about who's there and what's going on, that you and I have discussed this for years. And for folks who don't get to attend to NFDA or ICCFA, et cetera, we're working in conjunction with those organizations to make sure everybody gets the message.
That's
So
right.
I would give us kudos for continuing the show to make it work and to have it as a priority that we're providing good information so funeral professionals can make educated decisions.
That's right. That's right. And then that's the key. Gosh, I mean, when you're in the business every day as a funeral director, it's hard to kind of get that 10,000 foot view. And there's simple things that just an outside perspective on it can help you navigate that situation in that moment a lot more efficiently and serve better.
I agree. Well, I guess it's time to wrap things up. And speaking of being wrapped up, we've got our folks at Plotbox that are helping folks at the cemeteries.
That's right.
This crisis isn't just for funeral professionals. We must include our friends in the cemetery side as well, that they're struggling and they're having to do some things different, i.e., let's look at Washington. So we would like to hear from y'all too. And certainly Plotbox has been a great supporter. And we'd like to have them to come back on with us soon so they can share exactly how they're approaching this crisis.
Absolutely. Okay, Commander, we're in constant contact with each other, but stay safe, stay healthy. We'll keep our ear to the ground and we'll continue to put out the news and the solution. This doesn't stop. Wherever we are, wherever we're quarantined, we've got this webcam and we've got some Wi-Fi. We can make it happen.
That's right. And look, let's have the free flow of conversation. If you, listener and watching our show, have issues, something you want to address, let us know. We'll get on top of it.
Absolutely. All right. Until next time, have a great effing week.
Out here.